voices echoing darkness, where honesty dwells. Aaron drops knowledge, casting his spells. Feelings are fading, lost in the fray. If you can't handle it, step out of the way. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave it, your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. It's a bitter pill, but he's done being nice. Had to say it, no holding back. Words like fire, igniting the track. Listen or leave it, your call tonight. Aaron's the storm, he's ready to fight. So brace yourself tight, prepare for the quake. Aaron had to say it, the truth won't break. Fight, oh brace yourself tight, let's prepare for the quake. Aaron had to say it.
I had to say, or else it would just go unsaid. Yeah, I had to say, or else it would just go unsaid. If you didn't get it from me, you'd hear it from some new man instead. I may cuss and yell, but I know what I say is right. You know what, I will fucking yell, but I know what I say is right. So long as the world be fucking shit up, I'ma yell into this mic. Left or right, don't matter, I will call you on your shit. I said left or right, don't fucking matter, I will call you on your shit. If you're the side that fucking up, the gorilla's gonna deal with it. Yeah, I had to say it, or else it will go unsaid. Yeah, I had to fucking say it, or else it will just go unsaid. If you didn't hear it yelled at the top of my lungs, you got fed a crock of shit instead.
The podcast you are about to listen to contains at least one of the following: strong language, disturbing topics, abusive opinions, generally things that aren't appropriate for little kids or overly sensitive people. So, if any of that stuff's going to get your nose out of joint, this is your chance to turn it off.
It's Aaron, your favorite unfiltered mess. Spitting takes so raw, they'll make your grandma stress. Is this, that, and the other?
Life, politics, the whole damn scene. Whatever crosses my mind, or whatever I saw on my screen. Ooh, movies to munchies, games to the grind. Interviews flowing, this is starting to sound like a date, ain't it? Dinner, drink, sports, wait, you buying. If not, tough luck, my opinion still flying. No script, no filter, just pure chaos bliss. I might offend your auntie or your therapist. Society's clown show, yeah, I'm ringing the bell. If it's stupid, it's sacred, well, it had to be said, what the hell? Buckle up, buttercup, the mic's getting reckless. I had to say it. Now, pass the tissue for the trigger.
Bear with me, folks. More technical issues. There we go. All the live stream viewers now get to see my lovely mug. It's always something, isn't it? So let's start out as we do by saying to Iceman, Jason, Javier, Fitzmac, El Jefe, El Devlin, El Morte, to the guys at the Weather Soul Media Group, to Kate, the Duchess of New Jersey, to Boomer Bob, to George Fonts of the World of Blaze podcast, to Billy G, to Josh from New Hampshire, to Bill and Dana at Clockham Craft Coffee, and to Lisa. Thank you guys for your continued support. It means a lot to me that you guys keep putting up with my stuff. On a side note, make sure you go to Clockham Craft Coffee. That's COLOCKUMCRAFT.coffee, COFFEE, and get you some absolutely miraculous coffee. The stuff's phenomenal. It's delicious. It's the best damn bean juice you're going to find. And, you know, Bill's probably working on roasting some of that as we speak. So, okay, yeah, that's my shameless plug. Go support friends of the show. I am not being compensated in any way, shape, or form to say these really nice things other than the fact that, like I said, they make good fucking coffee. And they're cool people. So you should go support them, buy some stuff. So, anyway, just kicking things off here. Once again, thought I had my desktop all back up and running, and it was working phenomenally over the weekend, and I got a bunch of shit done on Sunday that I needed to get done, and then nothing. You know, I fire it up when I get home from work today, and it lets me load up everything, and then immediately freezes like 20 minutes before I'm going to start the stream. So I've learned a couple of lessons, one of which being I have everything that I have the show running off of plugged into a docking station now. So I just pulled the plug out of that and plugged it into the laptop, and here we are. Downside of that is, again, laptop really doesn't possess the horsepower for me to have anything open other than the fucking window that I have to control the live stream, and that's about it. So once again, this video is going to be going out raw once the episode's over, so no editing for Aaron tonight, so I guess that's a plus for me. I take these damn headphones off. You know, in a side note, other things just keep breaking around the house, so it's phenomenal. So picking up a new computer is probably not in the cards, and I really don't think it's a computer issue. I think it's a software issue because it runs fine in safe mode. It runs like a greased up deaf guy. It works great. And then I reinstalled, do a clean install of Windows, and I have all the updates turned off, so it shouldn't be downloading any extra files. It shouldn't be causing any conflicts. I'm at a loss. I mean, my computer knowledge is very dated. I used to be really into that shit, but now all of a sudden not so much. And so my basis of like experience for troubleshooting modern problems in computers is extremely slim. And other than bothering a couple of my friends that are more versed in this shit than I am, who basically told me to try all the stuff I've already tried, and I don't want to inconvenience any of my friends and ask them to come troubleshoot the shit directly, so I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm probably going to wind up installing Linux on it and seeing if that works to fix the problem, because I need the horsepower. All the programs I use actually have Linux versions, so it should not change anything real significant in terms of that. Let's see, what else? Other housekeeping stuff. There will be potentially a couple little changes here. I'm going to be getting back to trying to do some guest episodes or some collaboration type stuff. I'm going to be going to guest on a couple of other podcasts myself. I'm going to be
doing things to try and get try and get back to being where I need to be. My life is going to have to start making accommodations for my own peace of mind and my happiness. And that's not going to happen as long as I'm just doing nothing but working and being miserable all the fucking time. So I'm going to start trying to make a point of bringing a little bit of life back into the show in terms of the other stuff, getting some guests on here, going on some other shows, doing stuff like that. Any of my friends that listen to the show on a semi-regular basis, you're more than welcome. You want to come on, let me know, shoot me a message. We'll get some kind of time booked. Looks like Friday evenings are kind of my available time right now because I'm still working at the restaurant on the weekends. And during the week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, there are other shows I listen to that are live those days. And then Friday night, if that's going to be the regular night that George and Manuel are doing their fucking random thoughts, I will be watching that. So that may put a crimp in my my plans for having Friday nights open. But that is, in terms of like scheduling stuff, that's probably when I'm going to try and get things scheduled, because that's, like I said, realistically, that's really the only day where I can kind of stay up later and not have it completely impact the next day. Maybe I could do Saturday night, but I won't get home till super late, so excuse me. But either way, that's neither here nor there. That's just kind of where we're at. That's a little update on how things are going. Had a very actually relaxing weekend. Didn't do shit. It was phenomenal. Hung out with the old lady, and we did stuff around the house, and I made supper for us, and it was a lovely couple of days of just not doing much other than trying to get my damn computer fixed, getting some billing stuff done, getting some databases built for the recipes stuff, and conversion factors and stuff. A bunch of work stuff on the spice business, trying to get that rocking and rolling, because I only got a couple weeks left before I got to fulfill, and I don't want to let my peoples down. So that'll be happening. Like as I mentioned, some of the packaging may be a little rougher than the final product. I'm still waiting to get. I got to get a hold of my stickers, and got to get the website set up, and that I got a guy lined up for that, so that's going to be cool. I just got to be able to pay him. So let's see. Yeah, Cody's driving and texting. I know I've been trying to avoid looking at the chat, but I'm looking up there right now. It says Cody's here, but he's driving for another hour, and then he says I volunteer as tribute to guests. So since he's answering my comments, he makes me worry about your driving there, bud. 2 and 10, remember? Anyway. So it's been another week. More stuff has been happening. Other people have been talking about it. People that are more qualified to talk about it than me, but I've never let that stop me, and I don't intend to start now. So the first thing I want to talk about is the White House had its annual press dinner, and Trump actually went to this one, the Correspondents' Dinner. Normally, in his first term, he didn't go at all. And basically, it's usually a chance where it's more like a roast. The president talks shit about the reporters, the president talks shit about everybody else. And which, it's kind of surprising that Trump never did that while he was in his first term, because Trump talks shit about everybody all the time. But, he's no friend of the media. The media is no friend of his. And that's basically was probably his original approach to why he didn't want to do it. And this year he decided to attend. And it went absolutely fucking horribly. I don't know who wrote this guy's speech and who wrote his material, but it was fucking god-awful. None of it was funny. I mean, it was just these just cringy pseudo-jokes. I mean, somebody needs to get fired over that shit. He's better working off the cuff talking shit than anything that was written for that fucking speech. And maybe he was trying to keep it from getting too offensive or too personal or whatever. And that's not something I agree with. If you're going to go, you go all in. If you're not going to go all in, don't fucking bother. Particularly when you're him and these people hate you to begin with. So, I mean, fuck it. Why play nice with these assholes? But that's just sort of... The more I see, the more I put up with, the more I deal with in this fucking world. That's more how my feelings are starting to lean when it comes to dealing with... Well, all the fucking morons, all the people who were fucking complicit in all this other, and just everything that's been going on in the last fucking decade. I mean, I've been frustrated with the system since I was in high school, which, as you can tell by the white on my chin, that was a long fucking time ago. But I've never been a fan of the system. I've never thought it was actually functioning the way it was intended. I don't think it was never intended to be a two-party system. It was never intended to be us versus them. It was supposed to be the government exists to serve the people, not the other fucking way around. And somehow we strayed from that. And I'm not going to go off harping on that for a long time because, and it's kind of like I was saying last week, I feel like I'm just repeating the same shit every week. Like I'm just rehashing the same old bullshit. And except for when something amazing happens that throws me some great distraction that comes out and gives me some new material to talk about, I feel like I keep falling back into the same old rut. You know, the fucking whack jobs that are going further and further off the fucking reservation, the DSA trying to take over the fucking and to destroy this fucking country, which in the last week, the president of the DSA literally came out and said that was their intentions. And it's like, it's kind of funny because you're watching some of the Democrats try and backpedal and disassociate from these assholes. And then you've got the other, you know, mostly the usual suspects, all the people that I say are un-American, parasitic pieces of shit that should have been fucking launched out of a fucking cannon decades ago. You know, you got your Warrens and your Schiffs and your Sanders and fucking AOC and, or well, whoever's controlling her, because I still stand by my statement that dumb cunt was never smart enough to get into that position on her own fucking merit. We all know she was picked through a cattle call, and she is not the one coming up with her stances, her beliefs, and her values and her opinions. She's a vapid fucking cunt, and she parrots whatever she's fucking told to by her handlers. I don't believe that a single one of those fucking ideas is actually hers. She's a goddamn idiot. I have no problem saying it. I'd say it to her face if I thought there was a way I could get in front of her. You know, but on the other hand, you know, what can you do? You've got all these brain-dead fucktards that are out there, and you can't reason with them. You can't logic with them. You can't point to anything that, you know, anything that disagrees with their belief structure, because that's automatically, oh, well, that's propaganda. That's a right-wing talking point. It's like, I'm not right-wing. I hate those fuckers, too. I just hate you fuckers a little fucking more because you're more sanctimonious, more self-righteous, and more destructive and detrimental to society, and I fucking hate you. The people that are out there right now bitching that anybody who talks about the SAVE Act is trying to suppress voters. Yeah, they are. You know, I'm going to give you credit. They are trying to suppress voters. They're trying to suppress people who aren't American citizens and have no legal standing to be voting in our elections from voting. They're trying to suppress dead fucks from getting a say in who's running the country. Now, granted, the country's being run by some people that are 1 foot in the fucking grave, so maybe they feel comfortable with dead fucks voting for them. But at the end of the day, it's pathetic that the you know, first world nation of the country or of the planet has elections that are less secure than third world shitholes. It's absolutely fucking retarded. I hate it with the passion of 1,000 fucking suns. And I hate trying to talk to the motherfuckers who still want to justify their brain dead fucking opinions. I hate the vapid fucking just imbecilic, detrimental, childish horseshit that passes between these morons' fucking ears that they seem to think are thoughts, when realistically it's just fucking flies buzzing in their head because there's a big pile of shit where there should be a fucking brain. It drives me nuts. I see the dumbest shit every time I fucking open a social media app, and every time I look at the news, every time I look at any kind of reporting, every time I go to the gym and they got the fucking news on there, because I'm in Illinois, as everyone fucking well knows, so there's really no fair and balanced news coverage, and there's even the more conservative leaning channels, because the gym tends to leave either ESPN or like Barstool Sports or the local channels. And the local channels are the fucking problem because they're all out of Chicago and they all have the specific lean of assholes who are reporting out of fucking Chicago. It's people that should know better. People that, you know, claim to be impartial reporters of the news should not be putting their personal spins on things. And these are the same assholes that don't seem to understand why the media is no longer trusted, why nobody looks at them and goes, you know what? They reported it, it must be fucking true. The people that are complaining that they're being second guessed all the fucking time. Again, because they lack the self-awareness and the sanity to be like, hey, you know what? We've pushed some really big horse shit. Maybe we need to earn the people's trust back. Oh, fuck no. These self-important smug fuck stains all keep just carrying on like the world hasn't changed. Things haven't moved on. People haven't been exposed to their bullshit. And it disgusts me. It's enervating. It's infuriating. Every little fiber of my being is just so sick of stupid motherfuckers, and I'm surrounded by them. And I know I keep bringing up the leftists and the fucking commies and the fucking, oh, well, we're socialists. We're democratic socialists. You're fucking communist and you're retarded. You are stupid, petty, jealous assholes who hate anybody who has more than you. You think it's unfair that people have shit that you don't have because they went out and earned it and you sat around whining and bitching and being a worthless sack of fuck instead of contributing anything to the society that would have given you any worth to deserve things that you have coming to you. And then you get these motherfuckers who are constantly crying about fairness and about how they're oppressed and about how it's an ist or a phobe or any other stupid goddamn thing that's going to come out of these mouth-breathing sacks of fuck to try and justify their petty jealousies and their just ineptitude and failure at being fucking humans that contribute. When you get these commie retards or they're, well, you shouldn't have to go out and work and struggle to survive. Newsflash, you retarded fucking cunt. Struggling to survive is literally the definition of fucking life. Just because you don't like it that you have to go out and earn the things you fucking want. Look at any goddamn thing in nature. A single fucking cell is out there struggling to survive against other fucking cells. Plants, animals, everything is in competition. Everything is working to survive. Nobody on this planet is entitled to a goddamn thing. And you have these stupid motherfuckers out here screaming about, oh, well, it's a human right to have this, that, and the other. No, it's fucking not. Because natural rights, which is what human rights actually are, nothing guarantees you survival or aid and succor or wealth or health or anything. You have to go out and earn that shit. That's the natural law. That's the natural order of fucking things. You're not entitled to the shit you want simply for fucking existing. And you get these disingenuous fucks who just parrot the stupid shit that they were told by their petty, jealous, worthless fucking academics who taught them this shit. And they think they're better than you because they have a college degree. But they're fucking stupid. They can't see how the real world works around them. And they go around trying to force their horse shit on other people. And they will justify anything they have to do to beg, borrow, or steal outside of actually getting a fucking job and contributing to society. The people who absolutely refuse to earn their way in fucking life make me fucking nauseous. I can't stand parasitic freeloading sacks of fuck. Which brings me to Zoran Mandami, who has announced that they will be opening 5 city-controlled, government-controlled grocery stores in New York that will be operating, selling the food at 30% under retail. Now, to the retards who are lauding this kind of shit, this sounds absolutely fantastic. This is, he made a promise and he's keeping his promise. He's going to have state-run grocery stores that are going to be cheaper than going to the real grocery stores. And there's so many problems with this. I mean, it has never fucking worked anywhere it's been tried. Anybody who's roughly my age remembers the stories coming out of Russia about people waiting in line for hours to get a fucking loaf of bread. People in Russia, and this is like secondhand accounts. This is me having spoken to people who were Russian, who lived in Russia during the fucking Soviet Union, who told me about shit they had to experience under Soviet rule. They would see a line and they would get in it, not because they knew what they were getting, not because they wanted whatever was being offered, but because a line meant there was something there to get. So they would just get in the line without knowing what the fuck they were waiting for in the hopes that it would be something they actually fucking needed. This is the kind of fucking bullshit these retards are fucking yammering for without realizing how fucking inept and stupid they actually fucking are. Communism has failed everywhere it's been tried for a fucking reason. But anyway, back to Kami Mandami and his fucking state-run grocery stores, where he's going to sell everything at 30% under cost to pass the savings on to the people, to make groceries more affordable so people can afford to live and eat and have their food. Now, like I said, to anybody with a fucking commie retard understanding of finance, this sounds absolutely fucking amazing. And I'm sure a lot of these delusional middle-class cunts that went to college and then moved to New York to try and make it there because they're some special, their lesbian interpretive dance class taught them that they are somehow special and they're going to make it based on their worthless degree in gender studies because they're the main character and they're special and they're important and they don't need to understand basic things like cost and supply and demand and the cost of doing business, COGS, which is cost of goods, all the basic fundamentals that go into running a fucking business, which is also something that apparently Mondami was born with a silver spoon shoved up his ass, much like my fuck muppet governor, doesn't understand because he never had to actually fucking work for a goddamn thing in his fucking life, this worthless jihadist sympathizing piece of shit who is, he hops right into bed with the commies because he's going to further his ideological bullshit that way. This fucking retard who's promising that he's going to sell groceries under 30% under cost based on what actual grocery stores are selling does not understand how finance works. You can't sell shit at a loss and operate things like grocery stores or fucking anything really, because there are costs of operation. Now, the only reason it's going to actually work for this retarded son of a bitch for a little while will be because it's taxpayer subsidized. And the money these retards are going to be saving on their groceries, they're going to be paying out the nose in taxes because anybody with the fucking means is already in the process of getting the fuck out of that shithole. And, Mondami's going to have to go to Hochul, and Hochul's going to have, she's busy trying to fucking fellatiate the little fucking shit stain. So she's going to give him more state money to subsidize his bullshit plan to try and prove that communism's going to work this fucking time, because this time they're doing it right. They're doing exactly the same as every other fucking commie retard's ever done, but this time's going to be different, guys. So these absolutely worthless fucks are going to run their grocery stores. There's not going to be shit in them. They're going to be bare shelves, and they're going to be, what is going to be, there's going to be fucking rotten, and people aren't going to be able to, sustain themselves off of these fucking failures for multiple reasons, not the least of which being when you have a bunch of commie retards trying to run a business, it never works. But they're going to run at their 30% below markup or whatever, below cost of what the current grocery store structures are selling. And they're going to be able to do it because they're taxpayer subsidized. And they're going to drive all the actual regular grocery stores out of fucking business. Because grocery stores operate on a 1 to 3% profit margin. They don't make these obscene amounts of money that every fiscally illiterate leftist retard seems to think capitalism sticks in the pockets of everybody who owns a fucking business. Again, retards, fiscally illiterate, never created everything, never made anything of worth. They just want to do their art and dance their lesbian interpretive dances and fucking dye their hair magenta. And they all believe that in the fair and communist utopia, they're going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want and simply exist because their artful expressions will contribute to society, and that will provide enough worth, and the state will take care of making sure they are kept a fucking alive despite their own ineptitude, so they'll be able to focus all their free time into whatever retarded fucking thing it is they majored in, or whatever it is they like to do for a fucking hobby that they think they should be able to dedicate all their time and energy into without having to worry about taking care of making sure they fucking survive. Because at the end of the day, they're really just old, fat fucking children who never learned to grow up and be fucking adults. And they don't want to grow up and be adults because being an adult sucks. And I'm saying that as somebody who goes out and fucking adults 7 days a fucking week, 95% of the fucking time. Yeah, every once in a while I get a little time off. I get to go relax. I get to go decompress. I get to go blow something up or shoot holes in something or just hang out and do nothing with my thumb up my ass and a video game controller in my other hand. Whatever it is I choose to do. But I get to do that very rarely because reality is what fucking reality is. And for myself and my family's existence, continued existence, benefits, and survival, I have to go out and be a fucking grown-up. I don't want to fucking do it, but that's nature. Nobody's going to hand you shit. The fucking rabbits out in my yard are running and struggling every fucking day trying to not get fucking eaten and trying to find enough food to sustain them. Now, fortunately, it's, summer in fucking Illinois. We have pear trees. We have vegetable plants. The rabbits are okay in terms of nature is providing, but they are still scrambling and struggling and running and hiding and doing everything they have to do to stay alive. It's not just some miraculous existence where they're just relaxed all the fucking time because, oh, look, a pear fell off the tree and now I can eat. And that's what these retards seem to think life should be like. Like, I'm just going to exist, and when I need things, they'll just magically fucking appear for me. I shouldn't have to work or struggle or have any sort of inconvenience at all, and I should be allowed to do whatever the fuck I want because I'm some inept fucking retard who went to college, paid way too much money for a worthless fucking degree, is in debt up to my tits. I'll never get out of it, but, society should be paying for me to study and learn my hobbies too, because that's how a fair society would exist. The rich people would pay for me to do my worthless, non-contributing horse shit, and, maybe I should be able to just, dance creatively all day and then order whatever the fuck I want off of Amazon. And they can't actually charge me for it because that's unfair, because that's capitalism. But these retards don't seem to understand that everything has to come from somewhere. There's no magic fucking fairy dust that's going to make things just appear out of thin air for these fucking mouth-breathing sacks of fuck. And at the end of the day, when capitalism is crushed under the heels of their stupid ideology, shit's still going to have to get made. And if people aren't making it to make a profit, they're not going to make it to make you feel better about yourselves, you mouth-breathing fucks. And so when the government all of a sudden controls all the means of productions, they still have to make sure the production's getting met. And if people aren't being fairly compensated to do things like produce, they're not going to do it anymore. And the people who are going to do it aren't going to be doing it because it's what they love. They're going to be doing it because they're going to get told, you either do this or you die. You work the salt mines or you don't get to fucking eat. And these morons don't seem to comprehend that extremely basic fucking fact. Makes me fucking ill. I hate every last one of these fucking retards. They all deserve all the bad shit that's coming to them. I really hope New York just turns into the third fucking world and we build a wall around it and let it fucking burn. I feel bad for the people that are stuck there that are actually decent common sense motherfuckers, but apparently you've been so outnumbered and so trampled under all the fucking ideologues who have showed up there to try and tell you that you're fucking wrong for being a working class motherfucker, where you have to invite the third world in, give them aid and succor, hand them everything they want, and still go bust your ass 60 hours a fucking week to make sure all these freeloading parasitic sacks of fuck are taken care of, because they don't have the wherewithal to comprehend that shit has to come from somewhere. Dumb motherfuckers. I swear to God, being that stupid should be fucking painful. It should physically fucking hurt. I hate these motherfuckers with the passion of 1,000 fucking suns. Entitled, whiny, parasitic sacks of fuck have no place in my world. I hate them. Sorry, need a little sip of water. Let's see, Cody mentioned in the chat that Ukraine struck Iran. Well, that's something. I mean, I have no sympathy for Iran at this point. I really wish the Persian people would have risen up when we were bombing the fuck out of them and, taken over and gotten rid of the fucking Islamist state, but they didn't. So here we are. Same shit, different pile. And Ukraine striking Iran makes me really, they have their own fucking problems. I'm at the point where I really just think we should just glass the fucking place and be done with it. I feel bad for the good people that are stuck there, but they had a chance to rise up and do something about it, and they fucking blinked. I'm a little disappointed, but what can you do? I mean, I'm sure the situation is, we should have armed the fuck out of the civilians there and let them handle shit, but we didn't, and that's the end of it as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, another thing that happened in the last week. There's a couple things actually. A couple things I'm going to touch on. Then I'm going to throw it over to the chat and then then we'll see what happens. Let's see. The computer's telling me video encoding is overloading again. Yep, doesn't surprise me at all. Anyway, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is something that, again, has the fucking libtards just up in fucking arms because, again, suicidal empathy, white guilt, and whatever other stupid shit they learned in college that made them think they have to be out there speaking for all the poor shit upon motherfuckers at the expense of all the fucking people that actually go out and contribute to society and fucking work. Well, the TPS status for, I think it was 100,000 Haitian refugees or whatever the number is. I forget the exact number because I don't have it in front of me. And like I said, I can't have multiple windows open with this computer. So, I'm whatever, 100,000, 150,000, 10 million, whatever. However many fucking Haitians got brought in back in like 2010 after the fucking earthquake. Yeah, their temporary status officially expired this week. And, so if they're still here, they're now here illegally, and they're going to start getting deported. I don't have a problem with that at all. They had over a decade to get their shit together and try and apply for permanent status. None of them fucking bothered. I don't fucking care. And you got all these liberal retards that are up in arms like, oh my God, they're such contributors to our neighborhoods and they're our neighbors, they're our friends, they're this, they're that. If they're so goddamn useful, they can go back and fix their own shithole fucking country and stop living off of my fucking dime. And people say, oh, well, they're not all like that. No, the ones that aren't like that actually made the effort to fucking get their shit together. The ones that are like that, which according to the statistics is somewhere between 82 and 90% of the fucking refugees under that status, are all living on public aid. They're living on your money, my money, our tax dollars. They're all sucking at the government teat. So fuck them. Get out. I don't care. Call me racist, call me xenophobic, call me bigoted. I don't fucking care anymore. Those slurs have all lost their meaning to me. They don't mean a goddamn thing. They're more offensive to you than they are to me. I don't fucking care. And at the end of the day, that's just the long and the short of it. That's one of the things I've actually been kind of appreciating about seeing people's reaction to these scenarios and things that are going on around the country as these, people are talking shit about it. People are coming out in favor of the immigrants. People are coming out basically people that I consider thoroughly un-American at this point, who would see this country burn and turn into a third world shithole just to edify themselves and make themselves feel a little bit better and make themselves sleep better at night because somebody that looked like them 300 fucking years ago had a fucking slave or whatever stupid horseshit is they think about that. And these are the same retards that conveniently forget that something like 1% of the United States population during slavery actually owned slaves. All the rest of us were just broke and trying to get by. And, it's just horseshit. And I refuse, I've said it a million times at this point, I refuse to bear any guilt for something I had nothing to fucking do with. I refuse to be held responsible for shit I had nothing to fucking do with. So I don't feel bad about any of this shit. I don't feel bad for the third world shit upon assholes that have been brought here to be fucking parasites. I've said repeatedly, I'm a huge supporter of the idea that our immigration system needs to be fucking fixed. That does not mean you throw open the fucking floodgates and let every deprived asshole out of the world come into our country and do whatever the fuck they feel like. It's not a case of I don't like immigrants or I don't like this person or that person. I mean, now we've established I have zero tolerance for like Islamists, and I do actually consider there is a difference between like Islamists and Muslims. The people that are like just want to practice their faith and be left the fuck alone, I don't have a problem with them. The problem is the more extremist individuals, the people that are more strictly proponents of Islam, because at the end of the day, one of the tenets of Islam is you either convert or die. There is no living in peace with other religions in their ideology. I've read the fucking Quran. It's not in there. So the people that are willing to live a more tempered, moderate version of it, yeah, okay, great. If you're not actively speaking out against the fucking jihadists and the extremists and every other motherfucker who wants Sharia law in the United States and every other fucking stupid piece of shit who wants something that's, antithetical to Western culture to be forced upon people, if you're not the kind of person who says, yeah, I don't agree with these guys, even though we pray to the same God, I don't believe in their ideology, then fuck you. I mean, if you can't actively condemn people who will force their shit on other people at gunpoint, for lack of a better way of expressing that, fuck you. And that goes for, Christians, Jews, fucking people who worship the flying spaghetti monster. I don't fucking care what your particular bent is. If you can't condemn people who say you must be forced into a belief, you're a piece of shit. I have my personal belief structure. I know what I believe in. I have my faith, and I don't think anybody has to live according to that standard, as long as they're not hurting anybody. That's literally, love who you love, do what you want to do. I don't fucking care, because it doesn't impact me until you start trying to force me to live according to your bullshit. That ain't fucking happening. So anyway, hang on. What? All right, well, anyway, I'll go find out what all that was about later, I guess. Lost my train of thought now. Thanks, babe. Um, anyway, yeah, so. And I think the mic's picking you up. But anyway, yeah, so that's another thing that uh, happened this week is all the Haitians are being told they have to go back to their own fucking country and stop living off of the American teat. Like I said, yeah, if you had over a decade to try and apply for permanent citizenship and get a job and be a contributing member of society, I don't feel bad for you that your temporary status that was over a decade is now expired. Get the fuck out. I'm done with the fucking asshole. Oh, well, they can't go back. It's dangerous shithole there. Yeah, it's their dangerous shithole. They can go fix their fucking problems. It doesn't mean I have to let them come into my country and turn my country into a dangerous shithole. Well, okay, hon, put her in here if she's being problematic. That's fine. Sorry, guys. It's a message in the chat from the wife. Dog's being a shithead, apparently. So anyway, yeah, so temporary status expired. Haitians get the fuck out. And again, it's like I said, I welcome immigration because without immigration, you wind up with fucking Riverdance. I mean, you can't have isolation for generations and expect things to get better in a lot of fucking ways. Now, people, try and call me out on that and say, oh, well, it's like I said, I believe homogeny is fucking boring. I like different foods. I like different music. I like different cultures. What I don't like is, like I said, people forcing their shit beliefs on me. People that come here from the third world being shitty human beings. People that don't understand you don't rape kids. People that don't understand you don't force yourself on people who don't want you. People who don't understand you don't have a right to fucking steal someone else's shit. People that don't understand killing people just because they look different is a bad thing. Now, granted, we have enough domestic assholes who don't understand those things that it's an entirely different conversation. But I'm just talking about the fucking TPS assholes. Goodbye, get the fuck out, take Ilhan Omar with you. I know she's not Haitian, I just don't like her, and I want her out of my fucking country. And that was one of those things too. Like Trump talked some shit about her at the correspondence dinner, saying something about her loving her brother so much, and that's what she wanted. It's so great to come here that she had to marry her brother to get people in, and blah blah blah. And of course she comes back, oh well, he didn't say that to my face, and he needs to get out of our country. Bitch, your country is Somalia. You've said it first. You consider yourself a Somali girl. You said that's the country you love. You said you want to someday go home. You get the fuck out of my country, you worthless sack of fuck. Light bulb headed fucking cunt. I hate her. I hate everybody actually these days. I'm at the point where I've got plenty to go around. If you're a shitty person, I'll hate you. If you're left, right, in the middle, I don't care. If you suck, it's time that you know you suck. You're a terrible fucking person. You should get the fuck out of my life and out of my fucking country. It's a weird place to find myself these days. But anyway, so yeah, that was another thing that happened. Something else that happened this week, and this is very early on, very preliminary. I haven't had a chance to do any research on the matter yet, but Rand Paul released Anthony Fauci's diary that he got with what the whole lawsuit going on against Fauci. And basically, it's another one of those like massive I told you so's that is so unsatisfying because, like, I can't speak for anybody else. I'm thrilled I don't have myocarditis, but I did take the fucking jab because I wanted to keep my fucking job. Now, if I'd have known how things were going to play out, I would have told them to get fucking stuffed and just dealt with it because obviously I'd no longer have that job. In case you're new to the show, yeah, I was unemployed for a few months here. I'm back to work now, and now I work way too goddamn much. That's the update in case you're new to the show in the Cliff Notes version of things. But yeah, since I was working in a healthcare adjacent position and it was considered healthcare services, and JB issued a fucking mandate saying if you're in healthcare, you got to get the fucking jab in Illinois. It was a fucking nightmare for me. So I took a shot. I regret it every fucking day. And, you know, maybe I'll die young now. I don't know. I fucking hope not. But I didn't get any of the boosters. At least there's that. But yeah, so Fauci's journal has been released, and it's something like 70 hours of audio to listen to it. I don't know how many pages it is. Again, this is very, very sporadic information. I got very little information about it. I had to work today, so I didn't really have time to do any fucking digging. But it basically, based on everything I've read, heard, or seen commentary about it, it basically reads like he's a narcissistic little fuck whale who was knowingly lying to people about everything involving involving COVID and involving the fucking shots and the protocols. He knowingly lied about, you know, why can I not? Hydroxychloroquine and fucking and ivermectin's efficacy in treating COVID, because he knew if there were effective protocols in place that he couldn't get emergency approval for all the fucking COVID jabs. And literally hundreds of billions of dollars would have been lost for the pharmaceutical industry, and hundreds of millions of dollars would have been lost for that worthless little fucking troglodyte, because he's going to die soon, whether the jab gets him or whether somebody gets him. And he's not going to be able to take any of it with him. And that worthless little narcissistic sack of shit wanted to be a fucking rock star. That's the long and the short of what I understand from his journal, is that he is an absolute fucking narcissistic piece of shit, which anybody with more than 3 working brain cells could have told you every time that worthless sack of fuck was on the news. He lied to the American people. He lied to the government. He lied to fucking everybody about literally every goddamn thing involving COVID to line his fucking pockets. He should be fucking drawn and quartered and killed slowly and fucking painfully. They should put him on a fucking spike, a greased up fucking, start with a needle tip, stick it in his asshole, and at the base it can be about 3 feet around, and he should be forced to slide down it with his own body weight, dragging him down it until he is ripped to fucking shreds and dies. He is a worthless sack of fuck who literally compromised the entire fucking world in his greed and his fucking egomania. And he is a fucking sack of shit. And if I was a betting man, nothing's going to fucking happen to him because of it. He will not be held accountable. Nobody will be held accountable. Because for accountability to happen, there would be way too many people that have to eat way too much fucking crow on the matter. You know, Trump's administration was financing Wuhan for 3 years before he found out about it. Makes him look terrible. Every fucking parasitic sack of fuck who was on the TV talking about, hey, look, get your shot. You like French fries? You can get some free French fries if you get your booster. Da-da-da-da-da. And again, it goes back to one of those, you know, core tenets of what I believe about people, of how I believe the world should fucking work. All this stupid shit that was forced upon everybody was based on nothing but lies and fucking ego and greed. It's disgusting that there will be no consequences for this little fucking garden gnome piece of shit. And it's the way of the fucking world, unfortunately. He made enough money off of our backs and out of our fucking pockets because, you know, all those free fucking shots that they were getting handed out, they were being paid for. They weren't fucking free for any fucking body. They were paid for with tax dollars out of yours and my pockets. As the fucking federal government continues to inflate our fucking wealth away, we have a petrodollar that is no longer technically the agreement that made the U.S. dollar the petrodollar has expired, and nobody talks about that shit because, you know, our money is literally, you know, built out of a house of cards at this point on a foundation of sand. There's a very real chance shit's just gonna fucking collapse. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. And at the end of the day, you know, we're all in a worse off position than we were 10 years ago, shit, 20 years ago, if you would have told us this shit was coming, nobody would have fucking believed you. They would have locked you up in the fucking nut hatches that still exist 20 years ago before we started letting everybody out to, identify as a part of the rainbow alphabet because, the L's, the G's, and the B's they were fine. It's when you start, and even the sane T's, because yes, those do exist. I've had that conversation with you guys before. I do know they're out there. There are people that realize they have a mental condition. They don't think they magically become the other thing by just changing their pronouns or taking a shot or cutting off their bits. They understand fundamentally at a biological level, they still are what they were born as. It's just easier for them to live as other. But no, now we have all these mentally defunct retards out in the streets instead of in the fucking nuthatches where they belong, thinking that they can change biological reality just by wanting it hard enough. And you get these fucking retards, cretinous sacks of shit, out here just worshiping at the cult of ideology because it validates them instead of telling them that they're fucked in the head. And man, that really took a tangent off of fucking Fauci being a piece of shit. But yeah, like I said, we've gotten to the point, and thankfully we're starting to swing back where it's not blind acceptance. It's not just, well, they said this, so this is what it's going to be. They're never going to be able to pull another fucking, viral lockdown pandemic bullshit again, just because of how badly they fucking dropped the ball on the first one, which may have been the entire plan. When the next thing comes along that actually is lethal, nobody's going to fucking buy it, and they'll be able to wipe out the fucking planet. And I don't know. I feel like I'm getting awfully fucking morose here all of a sudden. What can you do? It's Tuesday night. Aaron's in a mood. And at the end of the day, that is what it is. So I think that's actually all I got for the moment. I'm sure it's Cody and Shauna still here. I don't know. It says I got 3 viewers right now. I don't know who the third person is because they haven't felt the need to pipe up, unless it's somebody on X. Which would be, let's see. Nope, everybody's on YouTube. That's according to this. And anyway, so whoever the third person is hasn't piped up, so I don't know, unless it's Bill popping back in. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna go to the recipe right now because that's kind of all I got in terms of ranty, bitchy. I was thinking about something on the drive to work yesterday that I was planning on talking about, but as per usual, I have forgotten because the car thoughts don't seem to make it to the show very much anymore. They used to happen a lot. And it had something to do with people and their inability to, accept reality, and it's generally shit I've gone off about before, but just new thought patterns as I'm sitting in traffic, sipping my coffee, giving people a finger. But anyway, so we're going to go to recipe because I do have recipe today. And, excuse me, while I do recipe, if anybody's got anything they want me to riff on, go ahead and pop it in the chat. After I'm done reading, I will check the chat to see if anything happens. And I know you keep saying you get to go first, Shauna, but neither one of us has any say in the matter. We'll go when we go. So today's recipe is going to be for Puerco pibil. It's a slow-roasted pork dish. It's something I really enjoy. It was actually in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. It was the dish that Johnny Depp's character would kill people if the pork was too good. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a slow-roasted pork. It's nothing super fancy. It's just, you got to take the time to do it. You got to make it right. And so anyway, now what you can do this with a store-bought achiote paste, or you can make your achiote paste. I like to make it, but I usually just buy it because I don't do this often enough to justify keeping like homemade achiote paste in the thing. But if you want to make it yourself, it's annatto seeds, cumin seed, peppercorns, allspice, and cloves. You grind them all together, then you cut in 3 habanero peppers, minced and I didn't give you measurements. 5 tablespoons of annatto seed, 2 teaspoons of cumin seed, 1 teaspoon of peppercorn, or 1 tablespoon of peppercorns, 8 whole allspices, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves. You grind all that into a fine powder, then you cut it together with 3 minced and seeded habanero peppers, 1/2 cup fresh orange juice, and 1/2 cup of a tequila, a blanco tequila, a clear tequila, a good fucking tequila. The tequila will make a huge difference. If you use some cheap ass college kid rock gut, your pork's going to come out tasting funky. It's not going to be delicious. You want to get a good blanco. So for this recipe, you get 5 pounds of pork shoulder. That would be, pork shoulder, pork butt, blade in butt, whatever, fatty pork, basically. You're going to cut it into 1-inch cubes. You're going to have 1 yellow onion chopped rough, 1 suntan pepper chopped rough, and then you need to go to you're going to have to go to a specialty store. You can go to an Asian store or a Mexican market, whichever, to get a package of banana leaves, because you're going to use the banana leaves when you roast the pork, and they do impart a certain degree of flavor to them. They trap in all the juices and they help it steam. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your banana leaves. You're going to line a pan with your banana leaves. Oh, wait, I skipped the important part. Okay, you're going to take your achiote paste, your habaneros, your orange juice, your tequila. You're going to mix it together. You're going to put it into a bag, like a 2-gallon Ziploc bag, right? You're going to combine basically everything. The pork, all the ingredients from the paste, the peppers, the habaneros, the orange juice, the tequila. You're going to mix it up in the bag. You're going to zip the bag up real tight. You're going to leave it in the fridge between 4 hours to overnight. Now, 4 hours is the fucking minimum for the stuff to impregnate the meat properly. Overnight is better. That gives the acidity in the fucking orange juice time to denaturalize the proteins, break down the muscle tissue and the connective tissues in the pork, and it will be a much more tender product the longer you let it marinate. If you let it go more than overnight, though, it could actually over denaturalize and get tough. So you gotta, it's a balancing act. Longer is not always better when it comes to cooking. So anyway, take the banana leaves, you line like a 9x13 pan. You're gonna dump your marinated pork in there, and then your chopped up onions and your chopped up peppers. Then you're gonna take the banana leaves and you're gonna fold them over so they kind of encase the fucking pork. And then you're going to take a piece of parchment paper, put it over the top of the banana leaves, and then you're going to take a piece of foil and you're going to put it over the top of the parchment paper to seal the pan. Now then you are going to take the pan, you're going to roast it at 275 for 4 to 6 hours until the meat is tender and shredding and falling apart. Now, I like to use my little meat shredder's claws, but you can also use forks if you don't have meat shredder claws to shred your pork, so it's going to be all shredded. Then it's done. You can do tacos with it, rice, corn, beans, tortillas, onions, cilantro. You just do it all up together. You can put it all on a plate. You can make a bowl out of it. You can mix it up however the hell you want. Point being, I actually just really like this roasted pork recipe. I like the heat from the habaneros. I like the citrus from the orange juice. I like the flavor from the tequila. I like the achiote paste. Like I said, you can buy it at the grocery store, and it comes in little blocks, and you just cut a chunk off of it. You mix it up with some oil to get it a little more flowy, and then you can mix that in with your marinade and you get the same result. And anyway, so that's the recipe for today. Puerco pibil, delicious slow roasted pork. Nothing fancy, it's nothing complicated, it's just good slow cooked pork that, like I said, makes delicious fucking tacos. You mix it in with rice and beans, you got a big bowl of the shit, top it with a little bit of onion and cilantro. It's delicious. Now, the onions and the peppers, the suntan pepper, or which, it's a bell pepper. Suntan's just a variety of bell pepper. I don't know why I wrote suntan. I could have just wrote bell pepper, but whatever. That's how my recipes wind up working out. I write whatever I'm using at the time, and then sometimes you got to make adjustments. But yeah, so it's a bell pepper and an onion. The bell pepper and the onion that are roasting with the pork are basically going to just cook down to nothing inside, and they're going to infuse all the flavor into the meat. And when you shred the pork, they're going to get shredded up too, because they're going to be soft as hell, and it's just going to mix in with the meat. So that's why you're going to top it with extra onions and cilantro, just like a regular taco. So it'll be delicious. And that is the recipe, and I think that's pretty much all I got. Let's see. So yes, chat right now, I was right. It's Bill, it's Cody, and it's Shauna. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I think that's pretty much all I got for this week, and I'm going to stick a pin in it and say for now, that is what I had to say.